Join us now for Education Matters, a weekly look at the real people and real stories in education across North Carolina.
Welcome to another episode of Education Matters presented by the Public School Forum of North Carolina. I'm your host, Keith Poston. This week we have a special guest in our first interview segment, State Treasurer Dale Folwell. We're going to talk with Treasurer Folwell about state employee benefits, which of course affect teachers and all other public school employees. We're also going to talk school infrastructure needs, buildings, classrooms, both with Treasurer Folwell and representatives from the state's school boards and county commissions. Lots of big topics for the show today. Like every week, before we tackle the main topic, we're going to open with our segment we call Edlines, a quick scan of education headlines across North Carolina and the U.S. A resolution to the K-3 class size issue we've been covering remains elusive as the North Carolina Senate continues to challenge school districts over funding they say was provided, while district leaders call the hard caps an unfunded mandate that will result in thousands of teaching positions being eliminated, mostly PE, arts, music, and foreign language teachers. Wake County School Superintendent Jim Merrill just asked the Wake County Commission this week for an additional $56 million in local funds to cover these positions if a fix is not found in the Senate. The North Carolina House has already unanimously passed House Bill 13 to address the issue. A bill to establish a new North Carolina Teaching Fellows program sailed through two committees in both the House and Senate this past week with broad bipartisan support. The new program would focus on STEM and special education teachers. Next week on the show, we'll talk to the bill sponsors and others involved in designing this new effort to recruit teachers to North Carolina's classrooms. North Carolina's largest recipient of private school vouchers, Trinity Christian School in Fayetteville, has filed an incomplete financial review according to the agency overseeing the program. Trinity was already under the microscope after an employee was charged with embezzling more than $300,000 in taxpayer funds. Trinity Christian School receives state funding under the North Carolina Opportunity Scholarship Program that uses tax dollars to pay tuition at private, mostly religious schools. Since 2014, Trinity Christian has received more than $1.2 million in taxpayer funds, more than any other school in the state. Finally, U.S. Secretary of Education Betsy DeVos was in Fayetteville this past week promoting voucher programs like the Opportunity Scholarship Program. Before coming to Fayetteville, she spoke at an event hosted by the Brookings Institution where she criticized U.S. public schools as, quote, so bad they probably can't get much worse. She cited poor schools on the National Assessment of Educational Progress test through NAEP. Those scores in math for low-performing students have gone up substantially in the past few decades. She also called out the #1 ranked school district in the U.S. for school choice, Denver Public Schools, for not having enough private school options. Her comments drew a sharp response from the Denver superintendent, Tom Boasberg, who said he believed public dollars should be used for public schools that are open to all kids, whether they're district-run or charter, but not vouchers that he says lack accountability. Remember, you can visit the Public School Forum's website at ncforum.org, click Education Matters, and read more about each of the Edlines as well as all the other topics we cover each week.